Welcome, everyone, to the Drunken Grail podcast. This is your boy, Stomps, talking. Across from me is...
Irish. Woo-hoo.
And over to my right is the ever-vivacious...
Very hairy Italian.
Very hairy Italian.
Alrighty.
Very...
Drunken Grail is here again. Whoa! Drinking beer with all our friends. Whoa! Yeah! Alright, so I picked the first one today. And this is another Strongbow, and this is the Rose Apple Hard Cider, another one of their award-winning ciders.
Rose? Is it pronounced rosé?
Is it award-winning, or is it like when you go down to Broadway and everything's Tony-nominated and award-winning?
No, they're like...
Electrifying.
Everything's
electrifying.
They won one of the big cider award show things that they have out there. They won, so... Yeah, this is one of their award-winning ones. I think it got second place.
Whoa!
So we're drinking a second place. Not quite a winner.
No, not...
I love the...
Not quite the gold.
It's not quite the gold standard.
Listen, if you're a millennial, second place is, a participation award.
Good enough. All right, so I'm going to open mine first.
Even though everyone here is
Pass to
technically
the
a millennial.
Irish.
Thank you, sir.
Technically.
All right.
Let's see.
Sorry.
It doesn't look like traditional apple juice.
Don't snap at me.
It pours like apple juice.
Orale, puto! You take too long.
Definitely pours like apple juice.
I'm gonna just do a hard pour.
You're not gonna get any. You don't
No,
get anything out
it's
of it. It's
just
a cider.
cider.
You're not gonna get any.
I don't
It's
think
good,
you're looking
though.
for a good head for cider, but...
Smells like cider.
Doesn't taste. Tastes pretty good.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't really. It does. It just tastes like regular cider. I don't really taste the difference because I've drank a lot of Strongbow in my day.
It's not as good as their gold one.
I don't know.
The gold one is really tasty.
I mean, it's good. I like it. It's tasty.
Yeah, it's got that
just,
nice little pink hue to it.
It's very, very nice, light, crisp.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just had bad luck with ciders, and I think Irish will support me on this. Usually, especially like the sugary ones, like Angry Orchard, they give me terrible acid reflux from all the sugar.
Yep.
And this, Strongbow, I know I can have and just be just fine.
Yeah, they're not as bad as other ciders in terms of how intense they are acidically.
Probably closer to a traditional cider.
Yeah.
Not dumping all the sugar in it.
I'll talk about that later. They're actually my brewery later, but it is Irish's turn with the facts for alcohol.
My
Facts,
random act of facts.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to talk about dissolved oxygen in beer. In my line of work, we hear a lot about dissolved oxygen in canning beer and packaging beer, and the quick definition of dissolved oxygen is basically a key component in telling or a key component in the quality of your water or something. I looked it up. I just kind of skimmed through. That's basically the first line of what it said. But dissolved oxygen in beer or high levels of dissolved oxygen in beer is not a good thing.
What does it do to beer if there's a lot of oxygen?
Well, here, I'll give you the Cliff Notes here. Testing for dissolved oxygen in brewing, dissolved oxygen, or DO for short, is measured for two reasons. The first is to determine that sufficient oxygen is dissolved in the wort to initiate a clean, vigorous fermentation. And the second reason is to determine a low enough level remains in the packaging in packaged beer to prevent stalling, or I guess to prevent the cans from blowing up upon packaging.
So you need it high early on and then low at the end.
Yeah, when you're packaging the beer, you need very low levels of dissolved oxygen, or else it'll
explode.
It'll explode, or it could lead to possible infections of the brew.
Makes sense.
Which
I don't think you want to drink
what happens
beer.
is what
gross.
usually happens, and this happened to me recently. I opened a can that had been sitting in the fridge at work for a while. I don't know how long of a while, but it couldn't have been more than a few months.
Since when does beer ever sit in the fridge long enough to be called a while with you?
Yeah. Well,
I'm almost impressed as I am shocked.
Well, upon opening it, it just kind of blew up and foamed up everywhere. So I went outside to pour it out, and it just foamed all over the floor. And basically, it looked like a big beer pancake.
Can't be foaming on the
Oh.
floor.
It was nasty looking, and it didn't even smell
So it
right.
curdled up almost.
I don't want to say curdled up.
It probably fed oxygen to the bacteria.
Something like
That'd be
that.
my
It probably
best
just
guess.
oxidized or something like that. And
Ugh.
yeah, I don't know if it was just a sealing problem with the lid of the can or whatever, but
It's a good thing you didn't try to take a drink out of it.
no, yeah, I probably I would have been on the toilet like all fucking day.
Just one little swig would have just destroyed you. So you were like, you guys ever watch? Well, everyone's done it, like Simpsons and South Park, with the little microbacteria form a society, and then somehow you did that. That beer was a society, and you're just like,
Yeah.
kill them all.
Kill them all.
Why, God? Why have you forsaken us?
I believe the microbes have developed nuclear weapons,
Yep.
and they're gone.
Yep. I think that's is it South Park. Yeah, they launched the missiles at each other.
Yeah. Well, long story short, dissolved oxygen in beer is not a good thing.
So it's almost like if you put it reminds me like when you put a soda can out in the sun and then you hit it and it just psh,
Right.
that's what happens if there's
So,
a lot of
yeah, I
oxygen.
guess that's
If you were to hit it
somewhat
with something, it would just kind of
right. I don't know too much. I'm still really kind of learning about all this fermentation and the process of making and packaging beer.
Oh, yeah, because our listeners are going to be so fair and balanced.
Yes.
Like, yeah, no, they're just learning. We'll
No,
give
yeah.
them the benefit
Yeah,
of the
they
doubt.
totally won't destroy us in the comments.
You stupid sons of bitches don't know what that is.
Have you
Motherfucker, I just told you I don't know what that fucking is.
I go to Beer Academy.
I
have a degree in beer.
I have a degree
and
in
dissolved oxygenation
fermenting
was
beer.
my specialty.
and I minored in
Trust
dissolved
me,
oxygen.
There's gonna be somebody like Captain Neckbeard 667. Fucking, I have you know that dissolved oxygen. And when I play Skyrim, that dude. Put your retainer back in your mouth and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Listen, it
But
was,
people,
it was a long week.
Aren't they making a new Skyrim? I know, a little.
No, they put another expansion for Elder Scrolls Online.
Of course they did.
No, yeah.
Elder Scrolls Online, because you have nothing better in your
I
life.
mean, they're not wrong, probably.
No, it's an amazing game, actually.
Ooh, I didn't notice that before. The vape lights up and everything.
It's a new one.
Oh.
I got a new one, and every time you change, it has like a little imprint of a skull on it.
Yeah.
And every time you change batteries, his eyes light up. It's really cool. And
Like
the
red?
tank-
Do the eyes light up red too?
you can change color.
Oh.
You can change color on the screen. You can change color. I don't know if you could change the tank color. You could
That is
probably
pretty
do
cool.
it. I just gotta figure it out.
When
how
I went
do
to
it.
go buy my vape, they actually offered me, and get this, a vape mod that had a built-in speaker that you could tether to your phone and play music through it.
Yeah, it doesn't shock me at this point.
I was like, are you fucking serious?
They are. Because people want to be able to vape and listen to their music without having to hold their phone in their other hand. And pick the music. Pick
I
the
think
music
Irish
on
just
the
thought
vape.
that was a good idea. Like, now he's pondering it. And I just also want to bring
So
to
it's
the
like
attention...
an iPod built into the vape, so you could just select songs
and listen to it.
while you're vaping.
I just want to point to attention to all our listeners. Irish is not only drinking the hard cider and keep making good ground, he's got an IPA right next to him that he's also pounding.
Listen, it was a long week. I've been sick all week. Don't judge me. Give me a fucking break. All right.
I'm impressed.
I was stressed.
I mean, you know?
I know that feeling.
I've been stressed out about dissolved oxygen in my beer, and
How dare they dissolve oxygen in my beer, those bastards.
Fuck you, you heathens.
Goddamn sons of bitches.
yeah. And plus, I need to clean my palate for the
And
next
now
beer.
I have Night Ranger still stuck in my head. God damn you. Motor
That was good. I like these. Stop singing it.
I didn't get it stuck in your head.
Yeah, don't
I just
blame
continued
us.
singing it when you came
just
home.
made it worse.
I know. I can't stop it. I hate it. Well, it's safe to say.
Well, that depends on this guy.
This is
going to make it into the Empty Glass
this will
Society.
definitely make it into the
You
Empty
got
Glass
he's
Society.
about 5 minutes to go. I'm pretty sure one of these days, we're all gonna like one, and Andy's not gonna like it, and he's gonna stall intentionally so it doesn't make it in. He's gonna be very petty about it, and he'll sit there in silence if he has.
I
to.
don't know if he's going to listen to the podcast he's not involved with. I honestly think we should prank him.
And what?
I don't know. Fill a beer bottle with malt liquor, then recap it.
You know he's gonna listen when we.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he will.
No,
He'll
he
listen.
won't.
I
How
think
do you
he'll
know?
listen. He wants to listen to all the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so omit this one.
Let's. You just blew your cover right now.
Just do it before the next one, because that way,
All right.
there's no way this is going to get edited before the next one.
Just malt vinegar.
Oh my god.
Saying, oh, we don't have any clean glass.
Well,
We're drinking
Okay,
bottles
but
tonight.
if you're going to do that,
Make
you
sure.
have to make sure, A, that like you do that before, or like we cover, like we have a tarp over everything. We're like, yeah, we decided to plastic up the stuff to protect it. So when he spit takes all over everything, he doesn't fry all the electronics.
Yeah. And make sure you're giving the right bottle to the right person.
Yeah. Well,
All right? I don't want to have to take a swig, or I don't want to have to like smell my fucking bottle before I take a swig and go, "Oh, Andy, I think I got yours by mistake."
What was you guys don't watch Iron Chef? Well, you watch a little Iron Chef.
I love Iron Chef. I can't
My-
cook
more-
for shit.
Later, as they get along, like they start doing like culinary curveballs, like 2/3 of the way through, because they're running out of ways to torture these chefs. So one of them is like white vinegar, and Morimoto, who like takes a bite or swig at everything that he tries, grabs it and just takes a huge swig and just like it's this look on his face of complete disgust, and they like slow mo it over and over again, and you're just like, oh, that poor dude. Oh man.
If I remember correctly, Morimoto actually worked with Rogue Brewery, and he has his own line of beers. And one of them is a Japanese-style Pilsner that is to die for.
They probably ain't cheap.
No, not even. They're in ceramic bottles with the swig top. But it is delicious. It's a little on the viscous side for a Pilsner, which sounds weird, but oh my god, it's
I trust that.
so fucking good.
I give that guy garbage. I trust him to make it good.
Yeah.
All right, we all finished?
Oh, yeah.
We are all
This was
finished.
delicious.
Into the Empty Glass Society.
Empty Glass Society it goes.
All right, so we're going to be on to the next one.
All right, so my beer that I brought is from Berkshire Brewing Company. I believe they are out of Massachusetts.
They are.
Yes, Berkshire Brewing, South Deerfield, Massachusetts. Deerfield or Durfield. I don't know. I'm not from Massachusetts. It is a black and tan. It is 33% porter and 66% ale.
Is this the thing you were supposed to use the turtle for?
No, this is not. This is just.
That's if you're actually making it from scratch.
Yeah, if you're you take a pilsner and then you float the porter and or stout.
Shit.
There's a lot of debate as to what a traditional black.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a bartender. This is just like me guessing. But I just saw
Not a lot of head on that puppy.
Harry Italian over here pour his, and it looks awesome.
It's dark.
and
It's
that's
like
nutty.
a dark hazelnutty color.
yeah, and that's me, man. That's what I usually go for. I just the darker the better for me.
Unless it's flavored with like banana or something. Oh, Irish is sniffing it, giving it a sniff. And a taste.
I can't really smell it, not because my sinuses are congested, because my cat's litter box is literally a foot away from me.
Stomps, you're right. It is very nutty, and it's very caramelly.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it
a lot.
It's very nice. Nice color to it too.
Alrighty.
It doesn't feel heavy like a stout or a porter.
No,
which is
I mean
nice.
it's only 33% porter. I like the Berkshire Brewing Company. This beer they named Shabadoo.
Shabadoo.
Shabadoo. Shabadoo-ba-ba-ba-doo-ba-ba-boo-boo-boo. Decision for the indecisive. Shabadoo is a delicate blend of Hoosac Tunnel Amber Ale and Draymond's Porter. Ooh. I guess those are two of their own like beers, and they just kind of combined them. Showcasing elements of each. This full-bodied dark brew combines the caramel, malt, and hop profile of an amber with the chocolate and mocha notes of the porter, making a sublime concoction.
Oh, I love a concoction.
With broad appeal.
You love a good hard concoction.
And the Berkshire Brewing Company donates 10% of their gross sales of this beer to the Food Bank of Western Massachusetts. The fuck are you laughing at?
I said you love a good hard concoction. And
Well,
just started laughing hysterically. I can't stop laughing.
All right,
laughing.
I appreciate that.
The beer is in fact nutty because I just snorted it like cocaine.
Yeah. I might like big hard concoctions, but you like a bunch of nuttiness in your mouth.
Oh my god. It's even worse when you're congested.
All right, as I was saying, the Berkshire Brewing Company donates 10% of the gross sales of this beer to the Food Bank of Western Massachusetts. Please join us in supporting the Food Bank's mission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty nice of them.
Yeah, very nice.
All right. So, we're on to the brewery and other alcohol making part. So, this is my problem today to solve. So for me, I went with the company that made the alcohol I chose, which is Strongbow. So they're one of the most popular in-demand cider companies around. Mm-hmm. They started in the UK in 1962, and then got bought out by Heineken in 2008. So they're a Heineken subsidiary, and that has led to some changes, but they're still 15% of the world's shared sales of ciders. So
that's pretty good.
Hasn't really slowed them down. They're one of the top ciders in Australia. They were the top cider for a while. Their apples are mostly grown in England and France, and they use 50 different types of apples to make all their different ciders. And they got a lot of choices. They're mostly more sweet. Their apples tend to be more on the sweet side than the tart side. That's the ones that they grow and use. Apparently, I don't know if this is 100% true, but they have the largest alcohol vat in the world, 1.5 gallons of alcohol that they have a vat. That I don't know what it's for. It's just, it was on the thing. It was one of the facts about them that I found. All right. It's really interesting.
Okay.
I don't know what they need that much storage space for, but
mass production.
I guess so.
I'm just
no
impressed.
No one else is at that. Like Budweiser probably sells more per volume than them, and they don't.
Yeah. I mean, like it or hate it, Budweiser is probably one of the most popular beers out there right now. I mean, even though the craft brew industry is pretty much, it's pretty much on the rise.
But
they're getting their grubby little dick beaters in there.
Uh-huh.
But the big change Heineken did was they dropped the alcohol content and upped the sugary sweetness
fucking
in the cider. So there used to be one you can't really find that was the most popular one in Australia. I forget the name. It was a dry cider, and it was an 8% alcohol by volume cider.
Ooh.
Well, cider is one of the original alcoholic beverages. When you couldn't drink water, you drank cider.
Right.
So that was one of their big sellers, and then for some reason they decided to change and knock down their alcohol by volume and up the sweetness. And it hasn't...
The sweetness?
The sweetness, yeah.
Getting
I
shreddy.
love the sweetness of the cider, yeah.
And I think I've actually mentioned on the podcast before that even in the times of the Civil War, before battle, there would be just this random dude with like a vat of hard cider on his back, just like
doling it out.
Yeah, just doling it out, just offering like pre-battle pints for the soldiers.
Well, there's a reason why, at least in the States, that Prohibition happened, and that's because people think that like college kids drink a lot now, but apparently you go back to the 1800s, and the average person drank more than your average college student did.
Yeah,
because they were drinking every night, all the time, because it was all they could drink. You couldn't trust the water supply.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They didn't have Coca-Cola running around yet. They didn't have any of that stuff. So there was basically beer and ciders and dirty
Hard
water
liquor.
you didn't want to drink.
Yeah.
And hard liquor. So they had to pick the stuff that still they could drink that wasn't going to give them dysentery. So they went with that. And then
I guess they were too lazy to like boil it and
Well, they didn't
sanitize
really
it.
they didn't know.
They didn't know back then.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
Plus, I mean, who wants to drink water? Fish fucking it.
Yeah.
No, that's very true.
And then, so Strongbow's also in the last, 3 years, they've won 4 awards at the World Cider Championships.
Wow.
3 silvers, which we had one of the silvers in the Rosé Apple. And then they won 1 gold, but they're gold. Oddly enough, they're gold apple, 1 gold.
Wow.
And that's about all I got on them. They're incredibly popular. When I was talking to people about doing this and said I'm not a huge beer fan, they're like, well, Strong, you should really get Strongbows. They're really a good cider to get.
Yeah.
When I said I like ciders
Every now
more.
and again, Total Wine has that 4-pack of them for $2, the little cans, so you can try out all the different.
Oh yeah, like little
always-
samplers.
Yeah, exactly. I buy like 9 of them.
No. You say I'm an alcoholic.
Listen, I just want to know that no one picked this up on the takeaway that Strongbow cider is popular in Australia. I didn't know they drank cider in Australia.
It's the most popular cider down there, man.
I can't imagine it. I guess if you're going to punch a dingo, 8% alcohol by volume is going to be a necessity.
Yeah, I think
I
the dropping of the per volume hurt their sales over there.
I think.
Budweiser.
I think. What was
Heineken.
What was that Irish?
Fuck them too.
What was
Well,
that
Heineken
Irish cider
knows
that
Strongbow.
you?
Oh, the Johnny Jump Up,
No, not Johnny Jump Up. It was.
which we still haven't found a bottle of. God damn it!
No, I mean Johnny. Yeah, Johnny Jump Up. I definitely want to try to find, but that's not the one I'm talking about. It's the one that you usually drank at bars. It was like Bulmers or something like that.
Bulmers?
It's called Bulmers in Ireland, but fuck, it's the name is escaping me. Oh man.
Hard cider.
Yeah, it's
that I drank.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
How fucked up was I to remember this shit, but you did.
Yeah. it's night Irishness.
It's a superpower.
It's my super. Yeah, it's a gift and a curse.
Fuck. I don't remember drinking cider.
I'm gonna have to. I'm probably gonna look it up later because it's gonna drive me nuts. But yeah, there is one of the most. It's a very popular cider in Ireland. It's called Bulmers, but over in the States, for some reason, they renamed it, or it has a different name in the States or something like that.
Yeah, because you tell the cop you've been drinking Bulmers, he already knows you're messed up after one. Because you sound drunk saying it. How would you have Bulmers? Oh, you're hammered.
I had a Bulmers. Oh, he's looking it up now.
By the way, for all our
Can't
listeners,
wait.
if you have acquired any of the Johnny Jump Up's hard cider, please send it to us and we will drink it and review it.
Okay, sorry, I found it. It's called Magners.
Oh, Magners.
Magners, yeah. And
We're way off on the name. Is it made by someone named Bulmer?
I don't know. In Ireland, when I visited over there, this was years ago. For some reason, it was called Bulmers.
What the fuck?
And then when I came back to the States, it was called Magners. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Maybe
Fucking fine
they
now.
tested Bulmers.
Maybe, I don't know.
like a
Maybe I'm
room
wrong. Maybe I'm just...
I will say this. If you ever had a Magners and Guinness, they're actually really good. Oh, it's basically a black velvet.
Okay.
They're really tasty.
I don't know. I think... I don't know.
yeah.
I may be wrong. I think I just...
You know why? It was because Liam always had extra. So he would give it to me at a cut price.
yes.
Which was nice. So I would get bombed for half price.
Discounted.
For all those who know, if you're drinking in New York and Connecticut, any money you can save on liquor, usually a good thing.
I think in general.
No, because when I visited my friend in freaking Ohio, it was $11 open bar, all you could drink Guinness.
How the hell do they make money?
Because everything's cheaper here. Connecticut's got a minimum.
Yeah, but like still, maybe people are buying other stuff too.
Probably. But I mean, let's face it, it's Guinness. Even if you're charging $2 a can, good luck trying to freaking pound 5 Guinnesses and not feel sick.
Someone's done it, and they
Many
decided to
people
feel
done it.
sick. I said, "Screw it, I'll feel like crap. I don't give a
I feel like you
damn."
should say a loaf of bread.
Yeah, it is liquid bread.
Yes, sir.
Used to feed beer to the slaves.
Never or never
The Egyptian
or never
slaves.
again. If you do 100 or 100. Now, better song to get stuck in your head.
Yeah, there you go.
We're going to get some of that Johnny Jump Up.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they call
Apparently,
it Johnny Be Good?
it's a very elusive beer, or I mean, not beer, cider. Because I think we've been trying to find it for
A long time.
a long ass time.
You couldn't find it on eBay or Amazon.
I tried. I couldn't get it here. And of course, the laws about shipping alcohol are dicey at best.
Yeah.
But yeah, to all our listeners, please send us a bottle, and please don't make it full of malt vinegar. That's just a dick move.
Yeah.
And that's
you want to do.
And no jizz either. No jizz or piss or anything like that. Just make sure it's cider.
I feel like jizz would be a lot. Like they have to take the time and the patience to whack
all right, this
off
cider's
enough.
a little chunky. I'm not drinking it.
But like even it's to have like enough time, enough patience to jizz enough to fill what I imagine are 4 regular bottles. I don't think any.
You gotta have like nothing going on in your day.
I hope no one cares about us
It's gonna
at
look
that
like a
level.
big bottle of Elmer's glue.
Yeah, like I hope no one cares about us at that level to do that. It's like, I'm gonna get those guys.
Have you been on the internet?
Yeah, but I mean, we're not big. We're not big enough.
We don't have to be.
Yeah,
we just want to be dicks.
Yeah, people want to be dicks, but that's a special level that you have to be big enough to warrant someone.
Or
fixing.
I mean, you gotta be willing to completely empty your testicles to send us
and
4 bottles.
You gotta
of
save it, and then you
jizz.
gotta siphon it off into bottles, and then recap them.
Make sure there's no dissolved oxygen.
Yeah.
Okay. Very low levels of dissolved oxygen. I don't want jizz exploding in my
Can you
face.
imagine that? And that's how you just... Oh, now it's jizz!
Oh, you son of a bitch!
This is what all those women felt like. Oh, God.
Now here's
This
the big
is terrible.
question: is it going to explode if you shake it? Because I feel like they would separate over.
No, I don't think they would explode. There's no... Unless they fizz it.
I mean, unless
jizz.
they...
Carbonated jizz?
Yeah, if they find a way to
jizz.
carbonate jizz.
Oh, my God.
It's got a nice bubbly texture. This one's nitro infused to give it that extra creamy texture.
It's got great mouthfeel.
Where's Andy for this one?
God.
Oh my!
No, it's okay. I already made the joke, so it's fine.
Yeah, he got the mouthfeel in.
Fuck you and fuck your mouth feel.
We're getting close to the 15 minutes, I think. So.
Fuck. Yeah. Listen, these heavy beers are never going to make it into the empty glass society.
Well, at least for me, this is going to end up in the empty glass society. I don't know about
it.
Yeah.
It's just
You
too
could.
heavy.
You'd have to chug it to finish.
Yeah, but I don't want to chug it. It's so delicious.
It is delicious, but I want it to be in the empty glass society, at least for me. But I know you guys aren't going to.
I might get there.
Chug it.
I'm almost there.
I mean, how much time do we have for the...
Let's say what, about a minute?
Ooh.
Maybe a little less.
Oh, wait,
a
I just
couple
burped.
more.
That might make it work.
I don't know. I mean, it is a
this
very
isn't
good
an
beer.
exact
It is
science.
it's kind of heavy, but not like
Guinness heavy.
I don't think Guinness is that heavy.
I think it depends on the Guinness you get. They
I
have really
still
dark
no.
ones.
I still even then I still don't know. I think Guinness is a pretty light stout.
Oof.
That's
You know what's
because
a really-
you were like in your genetics is to drink Guinness. To be fair, you're like that's breakfast.
That's my blood. It's my blood type.
Hey, back in the day, they used to have oatmeal stouts, and you're supposed to drink it with breakfast.
Yeah. Hence the term, right?
Yeah.
There's pro alcohol. Well, I didn't make it. I got close.
I made it.
But you made it just under the 15 minute mark.
Just
I
under.
still got 3
You
fingers
still
left.
got a lot
Yeah,
to go.
you still got it's all right. Unfortunately,
It doesn't
it doesn't quite make it, but
Sadly.
it is a very delicious
We do
beer.
have a new horrible idea if we ever want to ruin someone's day. Jizz in a bottle.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Or
We'll
or you
just-
know what? Dealer's choice. You know, go crazy, guys.
We'll just all save up, and then one day when we quit a job we don't like, we'll just be like, here, for you guys. Energy drink.
Brought to you by Dick in a Box.
It's
You
my
got people you hate. Dick
it's
in
my
a
jizz
Box.
in a bottle. My jizz in a bottle, baby.
Alright, so we're going to go on to the next beer.
And that is from Stompy Booty Butt.
All right, now on to general fuckery. But before that, let me introduce my beer. So, I was at the liquor store the other day, and I went in their discount rack, and they had one of the leftover beers from Omegang for Game of Thrones, the Mother of Dragons. It is a smoked porter, and
You have my
direct
attention.
aged blend. I'm not gonna lie, everyone's gonna give me crap for this one, but I'll put it to you this way: fuck Omegang, fuck Three Philosophers. They're not that great.
I don't know who
They had a couple of good.
A lot of their beers taste the same.
Yeah, they kind of runs up. I don't know. It just...
For years, all I kept hearing about was 3 philosophers. 3 philosophers. Costa, you need to try 3 philosophers. And I guess maybe in my head I overbuilt it to be this amazing fucking mind-blowing beer that would fuck my world up. Kind of like philosophy.
It depends
Oh
on
my
the
God.
philosophy.
Yeah, then I guess nihilism would have been the appropriate philosophy. Because I'm sitting there like,
Got you a
nothing
little Nietzsche.
matters.
See philosophy?
Yes,
See
Nietzsche
nihilism?
was a philosopher.
All right, so since it's one big ass bottle, you want to
we're
take
gonna-
mine?
Yeah, we're going to
Here,
divide it amongst.
we're just gonna.
Divide and conquer, just like Game of Thrones.
There you go.
Yeah.
I thought that was Napoleon.
That was Sun Tzu.
Oh, Sun Tzu. Okay.
Well, I mean, Game of Thrones is about dividing houses and then conquering them all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Or dividing your cousin's legs.
Yeah, it depends on the family. It's usually brother-sister in that show, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's try not to get
Well,
into
you don't want to get to the little bro-sister boning
No,
in episode 1? They throw a kid off a rooftop?
A little weird.
No, it's
Little-
perfectly normal back then.
No,
for the twins to fuck each other and throw kids off rooftops.
Jesus. Thank you, sir.
I was just like, you
Sláinte.
fucking turd.
Sláinte. Cheers.
All right.
All right.
Smells fruity.
Let me try to get
Oh
rid of some
God,
of
please
this
let
one.
it not be a fucking
Is it
sour
like,
porter. A beer for Daenerys, a blend of delicately smoked
Oh.
porter, tart cherries, brewed
What's
with
it
those
do?
with mature dragon. Fuck me.
Who's the so does this have Drago's jizz in it? Is that what it is? Back
Christ,
to the
I could
jizz.
smell the cherries.
Yeah, you can really smell the cherries.
I'm afraid.
Oh, you know what? It's not that bad, and I usually hate sour beers. That's actually not bad.
It doesn't taste like cherries that much.
It's black as
Irish
fuck.
looks miserable as hell. Oh, he scrunched his face.
I mean,
it's not terrible.
it's not.
You don't have to like it.
I
Tell it to
don't.
go suck its own dick.
I don't. Well, I'm not going to tell it to suck its own dick,
Tell it to suck Drago's
but I'm
dick.
also not going to sing its praises.
Not that
'cause-
Jason Momoa needs any help getting his dick sucked.
I mean, yeah, that guy, he's
Every-
good on his own, dude.
Every lady I've ever talked to
I'm-
is Jason Momoa.
Oh, yeah.
I'm creaming my pants right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In all honesty, I'd fuck Jason Momoa.
No, he'd fuck you. Let's
Yeah,
be
like-
fair.
Yeah, seriously.
There's no situation
I would
where I'm the
totally
top.
be down. Like, Jason, do what you want, bud.
So she should have been in your celebrity thing when we did the
Yeah.
fantasy throwdown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look,
last time
little-
I checked those guys.
Yeah, he's a dude. Jason
that's
Momoa
right.
is a. Who,
What did you think he was, a chick or something? Like a.
he's
I
playing
thought
Aquaman.
I thought we were talking about Daenerys for a second.
No, we're
No.
talking about Jason Momoa.
Mine was snap, crackle, and prolonged
Yes, who
famous.
you
Yeah.
raped.
Yeah.
All right.
I still have problems with that. I still have nightmares thinking about that.
Makes you think
My
about
beloved Snap, Crackle, and Pop being
So
raped.
what is this this time's general fuckery?
This time, general fuckery. I'm just gonna go base the shit that I've been aware of lately. So,
Okay.
fun news today: the new trailer for John Wick 3 is out.
That looked cool.
Ooh.
I watched that.
I still yet to see John Wick 2, though.
I hate you.
What the fuck?
I mean, it's
It's not the
it's
first
not
one's
the
better.
first one, but it does expand the universe. So you get more how the assassins function. It's more about that than
It's
it is
world
about,
building.
Yeah, it's
really
more about
good.
world building than it is about telling a good plot.
All right, not to go off topic, but the beer is kind of growing on me.
Aww.
Not gonna lie.
It's not too sour. I hate
No, it's
sour
not.
beers.
No, it's
Like
not sour at
Daenerys'
all.
Dragons, it grows on you.
It's kind of tangy.
Mm.
It's not
It
sour.
says-
It's tangy. It's like
The bottle description says a hint of smoke. I'm not getting it.
no, yeah, I'm not
That's
getting a smoky
necessarily a
flavor.
bad thing.
No, I'm just getting tart cherries and beer. That's
Tart cherries and hot.
excuse me.
It looks like an interesting. We'll see how that movie turns out.
Yeah.
Because they might go too big where he's just like, this is a highly trained assassin. Bah! Right in the face like you're nothing.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, well, that's kind of
I
silly.
mean, when we left seeing John Wick 2, I was thinking to myself, like, the third one's going to be excommunicade. Or,
Well, that's what they say in the thing.
yeah, but what was it was something else.
I would
Well, they call this something else, but he gets he has to be excommunicated, like, opening.
just
Yeah.
letting you know. I would like to see John Wick 2, so don't spoil it.
Oh, you've had a couple years. It's
You
your
had a
fault
couple
at
years,
this point.
yeah.
Fuck you.
No, fuck
No,
you. for
fuck
not
you.
seeing
Don't
it.
spoil anything.
No, that's not how this works.
I want to see it.
Well, you can see it, but you've had a few years. If you don't see it after a few years...
You know what? I don't have the time to fucking see movies now.
The spoiler rules
That's
don't apply
bullshit.
after a few
I've
years.
sat there and watched you watch freaking Jacksepticeye for hours.
Listen,
Yeah, take that time
he's
to
got
go
good
watch John
content,
Wick
all
2.
right? A lot better than some of the shit that's on TV or some of the shit that's in the movies right now,
I would
okay?
love to have Jacksepticeye on this fucking
I would
channel.
love that,
It'd be a
too.
trip.
Well,
He has
we
no
gotta-
idea who the fuck
yeah,
we are,
We gotta build
but I would
first.
love to have that guy in the show.
But
But yeah, it's,
going back, it should be an amazing movie.
I hope so. Halle Berry's in it. So.
I mean, if the first movie was
We'll see
any
how we feel
indicator
about
of
that.
how good the second and the third movie is going to be for me, because I
the
know
second movie is good. It's not as good as the first
I'm guessing.
one.
You could tell me if I'm wrong or not. The second movie is basically the Russian mafias are that.
No.
Not even in the ballpark, my friend.
Really?
No.
Not even
I
in the
thought
boat.
It opens with Russian mafia, but they're out of it after
Yeah.
the first
No,
scene.
I thought after killing Theon,
No.
the
his
rest of the
daddy.
family would like.
No, he killed the family. He killed the dad, too.
Well, yeah, I know that. I thought it was like a big extended family or something like that.
No, they're out of it after the first
No.
scene.
They're a small hiccup in the whole system.
I will tell.
Shit.
So I'll spoil the first scene. He gets his car back, and that's the one time he takes on the Russians.
Ooh.
Is the opening scene where he fights to get his car back, and then they're not really in it after that.
No shit.
Yeah,
It's a lot of world.
All right, I gotta
he travels a lot.
I gotta get in on this fucking John Wick.
Yeah,
It's fucking
he
Two.
they fulfill a
blood oath.
blood oath, but like no, remember in the first one where they're like he killed a guy with a fucking pencil. They then cash that in the next one.
Yeah.
Are they
he
still?
kills a guy with a fucking.
Are they still calling him like the Russian equivalent to the boogeyman or
And
something like that?
yeah, well,
Well,
he's,
they
he-
dropped that almost instantly.
because,
Really?
Because that's the Russian term for him.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
he is known as like one of the best
Oh,
super
yeah.
assassins in the super assassin.
Right.
role.
I did like in the first movie that they had an entire hotel dedicated for like assassins.
Well, that's this world. That movie. The second one builds on like the hotel thing to like
Expand
how
the
assassins get their weapons and
Do they
maps
explain?
and stuff and.
Do they explain the concept of those coins, like the gold coins that
It's
they exchange?
Not anymore than
No, they don't have to.
It's just
I mean,
currency. It's just
that's
currency.
that's
in
the assassin currency or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's all it is.
I never
You
understood
guys,
that.
You should watch the honest trailer for like John Wick 1 and 2 because they,
Right.
at least for the first one, because they talk about like, so are they just assassin jazz bands that play that just know about the whole underground assassin thing because they're like overthinking the whole like assassin world. Then the second one builds on it, but
Right.
They do really funny things like,
It's a
so are there like assassin like, like laundry doers? Like what is like they just expand exponentially on the whole assassin world.
Okay.
So then the second one just
amazing.
builds it, yeah. No, there's no dog really till the end.
Yeah.
Not even the pit bull he steals from the fucking shelter.
That dog's gone. That dog. Well,
Wait,
I guess-
what? Why is the dog gone?
No, he has the guy at the hotel hold on to him.
Yeah, he doesn't keep the dog.
Oh.
Except at the end.
Well, he gets a different dog at the
Yeah.
end. I think he finds another mutt running around. It's like this is mine now. He's like the dog whisperer. He just beats random dogs, and they
Shoot
love
some
him.
guys, adopt a
Shoots some
dog.
dudes.
Hello, I
adopts
am-
a dog.
I am John Wick's Milan,
Yeah.
and I am the assassin dog whisperer. Oh shit!
Oh no! Wrong
Damn it!
move. Wrong move!
Wrong move! God damn it!
Didn't mean to kill that dog. I meant to kill that guy. Shit.
Oh man.
That's still one of the best South Park episodes. Is Dog Whisperer.
Oh yeah, when
You have to establish dominance, Miss
Mom,
Cartman.
Mom, God damn it! Stop doing
I'm not a dog. And then it works.
it. Actually works.
Why am I
That
doing
has
this?
to be hands down one of my favorite South Park episodes.
Oh, God. On the line of General Fucker, last season of South Park, phenomenal. Jeff Bezos is a fucking mind-controlling capitalist. I'd like to say something over your vaping.
Yeah, it's not that. No.
I'm sorry. What were you saying? What were you saying?
Blah, 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 blah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
People must be fulfilled.
I'm totally behind on my South Park.
The problem with the new
Unfortunately.
seasons is like you have to watch other seasons.
Yeah, that's the
Which
thing.
annoys me a little bit.
I have to.
Like, I've kept up, but like if you don't keep up, why? It's a comedy.
Says the
Yeah,
guy who
it's-
watches One Piece.
Yeah, but that's an
Yeah,
anime.
exactly.
Nice move.
That's an anime. You
That wasn't
know-
me.
Yes, it was you.
It was on your side.
You hit it. Anime, you sign up for that. When you watch a comedy show, you don't sign up for having to follow a continuation like 3 seasons back sometimes.
Right.
Irish, I'll give you a heads up. They're on episode 790 something.
What?
Oh, Jesus.
One Piece.
No, they're way past that.
Oh, see, even worse.
Yeah,
you can watch 10 episodes a day for the next year and still not be done.
What, this is the anime
One
show?
Piece,
Yeah, One Piece.
All right, well, I'm not into anime that much.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it
you
doesn't
definitely
really...
won't be into this one either.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's actually a good
I'll sit this one out,
It's
then.
just forever long, but it's a good anime.
So I'm told. The tit physics are amazing.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Please.
I'm sure. The Japanese
universe-
know how to,
Animate some tits.
animate some titties, you know.
I can't
Their
complain.
universe is incredibly bizarre, but it makes sense in the way they explain it. If you just look at it at the surface, it's like, oh, this is just complete nonsense. But
Yeah.
then when they explain it, like, okay, so it makes sense in their world. It does make sense, and it's fun. It's just, it's too long.
We're talking about the story arc or the titty physics?
The story arc,
Okay, just making sure.
not the titty physics. Every anime has titty physics,
Yes.
to be honest
The
with
titty
you.
physics actually make complete sense because on their planet, gravity is in fact 30% lighter. So when the girl bounces, they do in fact go higher.
Listen, your girlfriend watches some stuff that makes me question what the fuck is this going on in
Have
her
you-
brain sometimes.
Have you never watched High School of the Dead? There's a
No.
guy literally shooting bullets between some chick's tits like it's a fucking bipod.
No, I've not seen that.
I think I saw one episode that you showed me. I think it was like the first episode or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's fucking absolutely
It's
ludicrous.
Yeah, it's ludicrous. They just fucking
is the
throw
funny-
you into the fucking fire, basically, of zombies and fucking...
Oh yeah.
You know.
And then they're sore from the axe, so they have to rub oil on it. And I'm like,
Yeah, because
yeah,
Japan,
that makes sense.
Japan doesn't really worry about women and equality,
And then Sora from Kingdom Hearts comes soaring down and, like, rapes people with his keyblade.
what is the 7 Deadly Sins? Like the first episode, the dude just starts groping
the
the
princess.
princess. Like, what episode in it? You're like, you couldn't make that over here.
Yeah.
We've got some real backlash.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, Japan just cranks that out like, whatever. Whitey's gonna like it.
All of a sudden, grab her by the pussy doesn't seem so bad.
No, it
Yeah.
doesn't. There's one episode where he steals her panties.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like to test to make sure that she's really who she is, he's like, everybody jump, and she doesn't jump because she doesn't wear any panties, and her skirt barely covers her ass cheeks. I'm just you couldn't make that over here.
I'm sorry.
And he's the good guy. That's the good guy doing all that.
I might
Crazy
be,
shit.
I'm not into anime. I tried watching 7 Deadly Sins, and I just couldn't keep up. They just throw you into the fire, and it's just... I do appreciate the gore factor and the fucking violence,
How many episodes in did you get before you stopped?
like 2 or 3. I was just like, you know what, fuck it.
Oddly
I don't
enough,
care.
they're sort of
I don't care enough for this.
It's sort of like Game of Thrones where they kind of dump stuff a lot early on, but they don't
They
do as
explain
much
everything.
later. And then they end with a ton of stuff, but like the
Right.
middle is sorting out what they did in the beginning, where they're just like, here's a bunch of information, and then they explain it all, and then the end is a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Of massive
One Punch
battle
Man is
sequence.
more up to your speed.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's the one.
that's
you
one of the
There's no tit
animes that
physics in that
I
one,
actually
though.
can get into because it's actually
should watch.
very
There's
comical.
no big titted women in that one. That's where the few ones. that
I mean,
doesn't
you
like-
don't always need.
No,
I mean,
that's
you
where
don't
the few
always need the big
but
titties.
You know what? Because I think that's more.
By the way, that guy started from me just looking at him like. I didn't say anything. He just was like, "Listen, there's no big tits in there."
It's one of the few ones. It's one of the few ones that doesn't have big titties.
Because it's
I
just,
did,
it doesn't need it. It's
it
too
doesn't
funny.
need it.
I did. I think I'm not the only one in the room who enjoyed Agrex Go.
I love that
I
fucking.
don't
I
know what
love
that is.
Ret's Go.
Dude, I saw one episode, immediately stopped it, called my girlfriend, like, you need to watch this with me. And usually I'm the kind of boyfriend that just blitz through it and then pretend like I didn't watch it with her.
I just love how you described it to me. the first time you showed it to me, you said it was basically Hello Kitty meets death metal.
Yeah, Metalocalypse.
Metalocalypse, basically.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. And the first episode where I actually saw Retsuko, and Retsuko, the character Retsuko is basically a red fox, and she looks like what I just said, like Hello Kitty. And every time she gets stressed out, she takes a microphone out of her purse and just starts belting out death metal tunes like. And I saw that, I was like, dude. There better be a fucking season 2 because I need to see this. Oh, well, thank God!
The problem is, I don't know how Netflix deficit spends the way they do, and I don't know.
Because they have money coming at the end of every month.
Yeah, but they're in a world where they might not be making as much money soon as they think they're going to be making.
Right.
Because everyone and their mother's making streaming services. They're all going to pull their content from Netflix. It's going to get very expensive for Netflix to buy IPs to sustain. Like, The Office is leaving. That's one of their big IPs. I think they're going to lose The Office soon. So yeah, but but if people won't go for The Office, they're not going to sign up anymore.
That's true.
They might drop their subscriptions down to lower levels. Suddenly they're not making as much money, and suddenly that $8 billion of debt looks a little more looming than it does right now.
I don't know. I mean, I like a lot of the shows that they make. Stranger Things, Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah, but
they have a lot of their own content.
I don't know if it's enough
to get them going,
to sustain the way they're spending money. Not to keep them going, but the way they're spending money. I don't know if you can spend money at the rate they're spending it, and sustain it. Like they're every year they're adding like $1 billion in debt to their company.
Jeez,
like they're racking up debt like crazy.
At least Amazon Prime has Amazon supporting it.
Yeah, like Apple TV is launching now. DC and Disney are doing their own thing, so that pulls a lot of the hero stuff off. CBS and NBC are doing their own thing, so you're losing those. So, and it costs hundreds of millions of dollars to get anything that people really want to see.
Now, I will say this with like Amazon Prime. I already have Amazon Prime. That's why I get it. If it was a whole separate thing, I would have paid for that shit. And I love Grand Tour. I fucking love Grand Tour. I know I love Grand Tour.
But they're getting there, though.
Yeah, and
I think it's getting to the point where it's like how it used to be with cable, where it's like it used to be one flat fee and you'd get everything, and then they added and added and added, and now instead of paying one person $200, you're going to pay 7 people, what adds up to $200.
I will say this: I do want to pay for Verve, just because there's this show I've been dying to watch. It's called Gary and His Demons, and it is fucking funny.
They also
as
have all
shit.
the cartoon shows.
Yeah, like Mondo and
kids.
whatnot.
Yeah.
So fucking funny.
Well, this didn't make the society either.
No, it's too heavy. And we split a bottle.
A bottle.
What was this?
Well, me and Harry Italian fucker over here.
Close enough. Good enough. I honestly forgot the name.
Your nicknames may fluctuate during episodes.
Oh, they fluctuate episode to episode, so I assume they'll change partway through. I gotta start making a list.
9.4 fluid. That can't be right. 1 pint, 9.7 fluid ounces.
Yeah. So it's like
a 750. Just shy of a 750 milliliter.
Maybe just shy.
Fuck you, McGinney. Put metric.
Yeah.
Fucking dickbags.
They're European. They're classy.
No, they're not.
I tried to give
Brewery, Coppertown, New York.
Yeah, they're not European. They're from New York.
I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I assume one of these fuckers wears an Ed Hardy shirt still.
A bedazzled Ed Hardy shirt.
God damn it! You're a doctor and drug dealer. Both know how metrics work.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, before we end, since Andy isn't here to do the wild card segment of our show, I figured maybe we could just do like a quick, like one question. Like if you guys can think of a quick question, I thought of like a quick wild card question.
Yeah.
For
Go ahead.
All right,
if you have a question already.
So all right.
Go.
Honest opinions.
Okay.
Who would win in an epic rap battle of history? That's one of my favorite YouTube channels. Okay. So
they're coming back.
It's my favorite too.
Who would win in an epic rap battle of history? Lewis Black or George Carlin?
Oh my god!
Those are two of my favorite comedians.
I love a Lewis Black.
I want to wait. I want to.
I have to go with the man that I love, and that's
All right.
Lewis Black. He's one of my favorites.
All right, so you say Lewis Black. All right, Stompy, what's your...
George Carlton's got years of experience.
George Carlin?
So does Lewis, though.
All right, well...
How long was Lewis grinding as a comedian before he hit it big?
Lewis Black isn't even 70 years old.
Yeah, but he's
George
been
Carlin
doing stand-up forever. He has all the same drug experiences.
Yeah.
I do love Lewis Black. He's one of my favorites.
His thing with Jerry Seinfeld, where he's in the freaking thing, he's cursing everybody out.
I love his one joke about bad language. He goes, I don't believe in bad language, and I'll give you a good example. What if you were fired from your job and you lost all your benefits?
Oh, fiddlesticks.
What are you going to say about that? You're going to say, pussy feathers.
Sassafras, pussy feathers.
Oh, pussy feathers. Oh, sassafras. No, you're going to say fuck, shit, ass, fuck.
But George Carlin.
I gotta side with Carlin. I gotta side with Stomps and say Carlin,
they're
dude.
They're both legends.
They're both legendary comics.
It'd be great.
But
okay, here's one.
Yeah.
Two of the biggest podcast comedians, Bill Burr or Joe Rogan. If you had an epic rap battle between them, I'm going with Bill Burr because Bill Burr stole the show in that election one.
Yeah, because he normally doesn't get high. And he got high and drunk.
Sometimes that makes you sloppy.
I've been watching a lot of Bill Burr stand up on Netflix and Joe Rogan stand up, and both comedians I love, but oh man. I
just don't.
I gotta go with Bill Burr.
Bill Burr wouldn't hold back.
He
would just be like, I'm gonna roast this guy.
He has that voice and that fucking New York accent.
It's a Boston.
Or Boston. He's from Boston?
Massachusetts, yeah.
Oh, shit. I never would have noticed.
He's lived in New York, but he's from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
What didn't give it away?
I don't know. He, that voice of his, it gets me.
Ginger bald fuck.
I will say this. He's definitely got the better show. If you had to put Fear Factor up against F is for Family, I'd pick F is for Family.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you through that fucking wall.
But
I think I love his joke about, no one wants to say it, but I'm going to say it right now. Like, somebody has to go up on stage and say, you know what? I just need to say that 80% of you people just need to go. And God. You know what? It's gonna be great for the economy. It's gonna be great for the this and that and the environment. Let me fucking finish.
Do you ever see the thing he did where he's in Philly? And they were like booing everyone that was coming up. Like it was so he goes on stage and they start to boo him and he just starts ripping Philly teams. But there's New York people there and other people there, so they just start. And he's like, "You fucking Philadelphia fans haven't seen a championship in like 30 years," and he just starts legging to each team. And he's like, "You goddamn Eagles suck." Oh my God!
Content-wise, I mean, they're two different comedic styles.
Right. Definitely.
Two different podcasts.
Two entirely different podcasts.
One is a rambling of a solo, as he says, ginger bald cunt, and one is a stoner hippie who invites other stoners.
I would have to go for Joe.
You going for Joe?
Listen,
all right.
You're like a Joe Rogan fanboy in the sense, in like the hardcore sense of the word.
Absolutely. Like a fat chick who loves Oprah. I'm in.
Yeah,
there was
all in on Joe
there was a
Rogan.
long time where I thought Joe Rogan. I'm a huge professional wrestling fan, and right now I'm wearing a T-shirt commemorating my favorite wrestler, Mick Foley, and it's the Cactus Jack T-shirt, the Dead or Alive T-shirt, and it's awesome because my girlfriend got it for me, and she's the best. But
suck up.
But for the longest time, I thought he hated wrestling because there's one video clip of him like comparing professional wrestling to Game of Thrones, like, if I watch Game of Thrones and somebody's getting their head chopped off, I'm thinking, wow, he really got his head chopped off. But, when I see wrestling and I see a guy throw a punch and he goes, that's not real to me. Like, I'm like, dude.
But that's because he's a
mixed
martial art fighter.
Yeah, but
like that's why he doesn't think
wrestling
that's real.
is a show. There's a reason why it's called entertainment.
Yeah, but I would think for him who's actually into fighting, watching a guy go,
but
He's actually a big fan.
Yeah, he is actually a big fan. I saw his latest Netflix special, and he actually explained that he was just talking shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's all he was doing. He's just talking shit because I guess he said, oh, wrestling's gay, and I guess it's... What's that?
It is a little gay.
Hey.
Yeah.
Listen.
Watching those men with the six packs and the tight short and
with
the
corset
speedos, and they're all oiled up a little bit.
But he actually went into great detail explaining that he's a big wrestling fan, and he even played to the crowd. He said, "Who here is a Ric Flair fan?" And everybody went woo. And he was going like, when you're watching like these two guys, they're both wearing like leather masks and speedos, and they're both got their legs shaved, and one of the guys holding him down, but not really. Wink, wink.
Yeah, that's why it's a little gay.
I was even kind of questioning myself. I was like, oh shit.
Is that what you
Shit,
put in the
he's
background?
got a good point.
Is that what you put in the background when you're banging your girlfriend? You're looking at it like, yeah.
No, I have a leather luchador mask that I wear.
That's what you wear.
That, yeah.
Is that the black one with the zipper mouth?
Yes.
That's not a luchador mask.
It is to me. Shut up.
Stuff. Do you have an epic rap battle thing?
All right.
Yes, I do.
All right, one more wild card thing.
Going back to I forgot what I was going to say.
Just go to your epic
Just
rap
go with
battle
it.
combo.
My epic rap battle is perfect. Better Call Saul versus fucking Mac, the lawyer from the original Law and Order, with the big eyebrows. Fuck, you can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about. I never watched
dude-
the older Law and Orders, but
Hold up.
So you want Saul, who's a fake lawyer, versus an actual fake lawyer. Fake lawyer off! Drug
Hold up, I'm gonna come up with this.
I admit I haven't watched Better Call Saul. So I only know what he did in Breaking Bad.
I watched most of the first season.
He's like semi-useless in Breaking Bad.
He's the best character.
He's the best character, but as
I don't know, he was kind of comic relief in Breaking Bad.
He's kind of useless as far as like he's like, here, I'll introduce you to this guy that can solve all your problems.
Exposition.
But he doesn't actually. But he never actually solved any problems. Whereas McAvoy or McCoy. Was his name McCoy?
Yeah, Jack McCoy.
Yes,
Jack McCoy.
I only remember that from the John Mulaney skit. That's the only. I was like, wait, Mulaney was talking about Law and Order. Who was McCoy?
Well,
McCoy actually had to actually do real fake law, in a courtroom and come up.
Well,
with
I
fake
never
bullshit.
I never watched McCoy's stuff, so I got to go with Better Call Saul because I got a special place in my heart for him.
Yeah.
After watching Breaking Bad and the first season of Better Call Saul, so
Finish Better Call Saul. It's good.
I got to do that, man.
It's not as good as Breaking Bad. It's just a lot different. No, nothing's gonna fill that void.
No.
So that's my epic rap battle. I got my boy, freaking Better Call Saul.
All right, so we're gonna end the fuckery here.
You motor red, what's your price for flight? Finding Mr. Ray, you're gonna be alright. Get the fuck off the stage, you drunken fucks. Fuck you, man. Fuck you.